Money, 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 money. I'm rolling in the money, 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 money. I get that fast money in a. I get that fast money in a. Money, 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 money. I'm rolling in the money, 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 money. I get that.
Hello and welcome to week 10 of Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets. I am your host, Nick Fiorentino, and alongside me, as always, are my co-hosts, starting for the Chicago Bulls, number 24, Chris Sershaw. Chris, how are we doing today?
I'm not too bad, my man. Not too bad.
Very good, very good. Of course, we have Montclair alumni, big-time Tim Secor. Tim, how we doing?
What's going on, fellas? My Jets we almost fucked up Trevor. I don't know what we were doing yesterday, trying to win, but that was Belichick just like needling us. Just, hey, I could let you win right now, and you cannot have Trevor. Goddamn.
That's Bill Belichick playing chess when the rest of the league is playing checkers.
I guess so.
And of course, our first ever returning guest to Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets, John Moravik. John, how we doing, big guy?
Boys, glad to be back. Highest rated guest. Appreciate it. Here we go.
This is definitely always fun to have you on the show.
Oh, I love it.
Guys, going over, remember we are Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at SBFS Show, our initial show, where we're tweeting and messaging throughout. Of course, we're part of the True Exact Radio family. You could find our show on their YouTube channel on Wednesdays, and you could find us on iTunes on Thursdays. True Exact, of course, spelled TRUEXACT Radio. And that's all you need to search on YouTube, and you will find us. We appreciate any likes, reviews, comments, subscriptions, any of the such. We don't make money off this. We just enjoy doing it to make you guys laugh and to hopefully win you guys some money. So any kind of positive feedback is good feedback for us. And if you hate us, then just fucking tell us you hate us too. Who cares? Doesn't matter to us. But anyway, going on for some of the shows that we have this week. Obviously, on Mark's side of the ring, Miguel and myself will be sitting down and talking about a recap of Raw and what's coming up for SmackDown. And on the True Exact show itself, it's going to be a pretty special episode with strange music artist Jay Robinson, who pretty much is the definition of the word hustle. They talked to him on the show about his journey to get where he is and all the hard work it took to get there. It's really a great interview, and hopefully after watching it, you'll be motivated to do something other than multiple shots of Fireball. So without further ado, we will get into it. Of course, guys, we are Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets, as I said, and for the most part, obviously during the NFL season, I think it makes a lot of sense to obviously be talking about football. Right now, it is the only sport going on. We do have basketball in another month and a half, but for myself, I don't know dick about basketball, so that's probably where I'll just listen to Sir and Tim talk a lot. But I think the biggest story, and the one that I want to start out with, is one that I'm super excited about, and that's obviously the sale of the New York Mets to Steve Cohen, and today was obviously his first press conference. And he absolutely knocked it out of the park. I mean, I'll say this, like, I'm 35 years old. Moravik, you're older than me, right?
41.
So for me, I know Tim is slightly younger than us, or younger than me. And Sir's kind of like Miguel Tejada. We know like a range of the age he is. Like I clock Sir somewhere around 38 to 72. But there's a little gray in that beard, sir. There's more gray in your beard than mine.
I have been drinking with him at a bar for good 10 years. So yeah, he's got to be at least 31, I would imagine.
Sir Tejada. But anyway,
don't crack.
As a 35-year-old, I've had the late 90s runs I've been able to see that I was super excited about. I had the year 2000 when they went to the World Series against the Yankees. I've had 2006, with Beltran and the called third strike, but a great year. Obviously, the two collapses after that. Fast forward all the way to 2015 and making it to the World Series. Like, I can't think of another time I've been more excited to be a Mets fan than right now in this moment. And listening to the press conference today, you've had things where Steve Cohen saying that he makes enough money in his regular full-time job. He didn't buy the Mets to make money. He bought the Mets to make the fans happy and to win. He's a lifelong Mets fan. So you got to love that. The other thing you got to love is the fact that he commented on, he wants to build the team. He doesn't just want to, spend. But when he references like the Dodgers and liking what they've been doing, and you have Sandy Alderson, who I was happy they brought back because now that he has a budget, I think he's a pretty smart guy. You have Sandy Alderson using the analogy of like, they're going to be shopping for meat and potatoes, but they're also going to be shopping in the gourmet section. And then taking a little jab at the Wilpons and saying that he's going to need to learn where the gourmet section is. All this to say, Moravik, realistically, you had Steve Cohen also saying that his goal is within the next 3 to 5 years to win a World Series. Moravik, is it like just out of the imagination that, this guy with his money, his beautiful, sexy money, can bring the Mets a championship in the next 3 to 5 years? Or is this just like window dressing and he's just kind of building them up and, building the fans up? Because I truly believe that the Mets are going to be sustained excellence. They don't need to win the World Series every single year. The Yankees don't win the World Series every single year, but they're in the playoffs every single year. And I just want to see that. Is that too much to ask, or do you think that's where we're headed?
I think, no, this sale has been off and on for 5-6 years, as far as I remember.
Yeah.
He's a fan. His wife's a fan. His wife's dad is, 20-something straight years, never missed a home game.
I know. I fucking love it, man.
He just wants to win for the fans.
Yeah.
Which is great. But at least put product out there that is competitive, and I'll be happy. Because what the Wilpons have done is put something that's not competitive. And they suck.
Yeah. They do. I mean, and it's been like hard to watch. And I'm sick and tired of like one good year and then like 4 mediocre years and then another good year. And then maybe they'll make the World Series or maybe they'll lose in the playoffs and then they're terrible after that. Sir, as a Yankee fan, are you at all worried about who's going to be owning the city in the next 4 or 5 years? Or do you feel like it's the Yankees all the way? You're shaking
It'll
your
always
head
be
now.
Yankee. It'll always be a Yankee town. But I'm happy for the Mets. I hope they spend some money on decent players. They spend money, but sometimes they don't really buy. They spend it on like old players, or so. It'd be nice to see them be competitive again. It's nice. What's up?
No. You go.
No, it's actually nice that they can spend money because, like, Met fans always tell me, "Oh, the Yankees spend all this money to get championships." Well, the Mets spend money too. They just buy bums. You know what I'm saying?
I have a long
So
list, buddy. Long list I have of people that I've seen over the years go to the Mets that I'm just – it's –
You know what I'm saying? So hopefully they spend it on quality. You know what I'm saying?
The list goes on. Here's the thing, though. Like, the Yankees have their fair share of guys that they've signed who have been terrible, too, whether it be Carl Pavano and stuff like that. But the difference between the Yankees and the Mets is, like, when the Yankees fuck up with money, they fix it with more money. Whereas the Mets, like, they'll sign Jason Bay. And then when Jason Bay sucks, they're so afraid to do anything else that they just won't sign anybody for years and years and years because they're so afraid of what happened with Jason Bay. And then when
I didn't even have him on my list. I blanked him completely out of my mind until you said that.
Yeah,
I completely forgot about him.
I don't think I can blank him out of my mind. Sir, would you be willing to buy a LeMahieu orange and blue jersey when the Mets sign him later this year?
He ain't going nowhere, bro. He ain't going nowhere.
Tim, as an Oriole fan.
Listen, there's one thing that you'll never call me, and that's a front runner. All my teams are fucking terrible. This is the worst. The worst time to be a fan is just my time.
Well, I'm not a hockey fan, but the Rangers weren't bad this year, were they?
Nah, they just crapped out in the playoffs because they fucking are bums.
And somehow got the number 1 pick.
Yeah, and then they got the number 1 pick.
You got the number 1 pick.
Technically, that's the biggest win that I've seen in, 15 years. So, woohoo.
You have
I
two
don't-
teams potentially that are going to get the number 1 pick this year. You know that, right? Or next year, I guess, with the Jets.
Let's see. There's talks of Trevor staying in college now if the Jets are 0-16 and they
Hey,
get
the Jets might be 0-16 next year too. So
why
Very
you gotta
possible.
be like that? Why? I thought we were friends here. You just
hey, man, it's all love, brother. You know.
I'd like to go back to that Rangers talk real quick.
Yep.
You know why the Rangers always suck? Who's their owner? Thank you. That's all I got to say. The worst owner in sports history. Actually, worse than the Wilpons.
I was just about to say Tim had, I don't know who the owner is of the Rangers, but I know the owner of the Jets. I'm not a hockey fan. I know the owner of the Jets sucks, and I know who that is. And I know the owner of the Knicks, and I know that he sucks.
Hey, owner of the Knicks and Rangers are the same person.
Oh, is it Dolan?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Madison Square Garden. That makes sense. I didn't know that. I don't. I'm not a hockey fan, but no, that's funny. So then, yeah, Tim, all your owners suck.
Yeah, they're not good. I will tell you what, in that press conference, your new owner did say all the fucking right things. I don't know who wrote that for him or if he wrote it himself, but goddamn, they knocked that out of the park. You cannot not be excited if you're a fucking Mets fan. That's for sure.
He's a fan.
What do you expect him to say? Like, oh, I'm in this to win a World Series coming up. Like, what's he gonna say? Oh, I'm in this to get to lose 100 games every season. Come on.
But the way you say it, that's what makes all the difference.
Yeah, but he's a fan, and that's why I actually think he might make a difference. Listen, when you go start a Madden franchise, you can play as you start a franchise as an ex-player, just some rich guy, or a fan. I always pick the fan. But like this guy's a fan with billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Unlimited bank.
So he wants to win. He wants to win. The Mets fans deserve it, quite honestly.
The real question is, when you started a franchise in Oregon Trail, did you pick the farmer or did you pick the banker? So you had the most amount of money.
No, you always got to pick the banker, unfortunately.
You need the money in the Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
No, the owner, I mean, Stevie Cohen, I mean, he said all the right things like Tim said. And I just, the one thing that stuck with me over and over again is him mentioning, I think for a lot of the owners, it's their job. And yeah, this is his job too, but he came right out and said that he's not in this to make money. He makes money, on 72 point, whatever he does. He doesn't need to make money here. He just wants to win. And I think starting out the interview by talking about how he used to go to the Polo Grounds and, the trains that he used to take to get to Shea Stadium and everything like that. I just think that he's
talking about his wife's family. I mean, he wants to win.
It's super exciting.
All right, put your Mets dicks away now. Let's talk some fucking football. All right,
it's the only thing we've had in a long time. All right, I'm sorry.
Let's go to winning some people some money. All right.
So we can talk a little bit about how unless Daniel Jones faces the Washington Redskins or the football team, he doesn't seem to beat anybody. But now that he's facing the Eagles, and they almost did beat the Eagles the last time. And now the Eagles are getting a little bit healthier. Moravik, what are your thoughts on this game in particular going into this Sunday?
Well, what Daniel Jones is going to show up. That's what it is. Giants defense is good. I mean, way better than I expected. I mean, obviously Barkley not there is going to hurt, but it's what Jones, is going to try too hard. I think that's the problem with Daniel Jones. Is he's trying to extend plays where he should just take a sack and hold on to the ball or throw the ball away. I mean, Eli did the same thing forever, and that's what he is. I mean, he's a Manning, basically.
Yeah.
Except one that can run.
Yes, he's a fast man.
Well, did you listen to I know you're a big WFAN fan, Moravik, so obviously you're well aware that Craig Carton started yesterday. Did you listen to his show yesterday to start?
I only listened. Yeah, I listened to the very beginning. Yeah.
He kept referring to Daniel Jones as like very similar to Eli Manning, and Evan continuously just interrupted him, saying they're not the same. Eli Manning had a better record through this amount of games. I think he said he had won 11 games through this point of games, where Daniel Jones is obviously went on to win 2 Super Bowls, and Some people will say, well, he had great runs. A lot of it had to do with the defense. There were some clutch, or I should say unclutched dropped passes by certain people, Asante Samuel, Wes Welker, and the other one that kind of led to his Super Bowl success. I kind of feel like he's similar, too, to Eli Manning. I mean, Eli Manning was never the best quarterback. He was never even – maybe not even top 10. I mean, somewhere some of the years when they were the number one seed, maybe he was kind of in that top 10 tier, but never one of the best quarterbacks, but can win when he needs to win. Obviously, me being a Philadelphia Eagles fan, I'll be the first one to tell you that you don't need an elite quarterback to win a Super Bowl or to beat Tom Brady. So I guess my question is, at this point through what you've seen, are you happy with Daniel Jones as your quarterback of the future?
Yeah, I would stick with Daniel Jones.
You would stick with Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
I think I would too. I mean, honestly, he does some things that look really, really good. It's just
You have to put a team around him, and that's where they're starting to do is put a team around him.
Yeah. I've seen some comparisons that some people said that I saw on Twitter where they are this year where the Miami Dolphins were last year. And seeing what the Miami Dolphins are doing right now, obviously beating Arizona, do you feel like that? And this is open to everybody. I mean, we all watch football.
I hate the Miami Dolphins. Fucking Tua Tebow. That's what I'm calling him from now on. I can't pronounce his last name, so he's Tua Tebow. That's what he is. He's going to rely on defense and special teams and make one or two plays a game, and then they win. I hate him. I don't know that I can ever bet against him anymore because he's back-to-back weeks has fucked me in multiple parlays. So I'm skipping the bet this week. Y'all could fucking take Tua, their favorite somehow. So enjoy him trying to cover. Hopefully he plays the way that he has the past couple weeks, and his defense don't let him down.
Tua didn't win that game 2 weeks ago. Tua won last week, yes. Tua didn't win 2 weeks ago. The Rams just had their game. The Rams have two of those games every year.
4 turnovers.
Shit the bed. Yeah, Goff throws a million interceptions. They can't hold on to the ball. They fumble. I mean, Tua did not – what was the stat line in that game? I don't remember.
Not good.
I mean, he wasn't good at all. I mean,
No.
I think he only completed like 9 or something.
I don't.
They lost the yards by like 4 times the amount that the Rams had. I mean, it wasn't even close.
He was 12 of 22, 93 yards and a touchdown. Okay, I mean that's not. Tua didn't win that game.
No.
Sounds like Tebow right there.
I will say, if you listen
I don't
to
like the slander on Tebow. I'm just going to throw that out there. Nick, sorry, didn't mean to jump you, but
No, it's okay.
fall down Tim Tebow.
As star Mets, future outfielder Tim Tebow, I take offense to that as well. But I will say that if you listened to me last week, I did pick Miami over Arizona and hit on that bet. Arizona was who I thought they were, and we did not let them off the hook. Since we're bouncing around all over the place, and I like doing this, are the Chargers the new Atlanta Falcons? Finding new and inventive ways to lose games.
39 games in 5 years. They lost by less than one score. Oof.
A lot of
That's
games.
rough.
That might have been the worst one. Sir looks like he might have fallen asleep. Sir, what do you think of?
No, I'm good.
I mean, they're just the worst. I mean, the way that they lose is just absolutely terrible. And I love betting against Anthony Lynn. I'll be the first one to tell you that I'm usually fading him big time. But sir, is there a worse team right now?
I mean, the boys in green might be worse.
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. Worse at finding ways to lose.
They're the best worst team is really
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean,
they're good for fantasy football. I'll tell you that much.
it's true. I mean, Herbert has been balling. Keenan Allen's been putting up numbers. I mean, they're doing well. It's just they just can't finish.
Well, thank God the Steelers finished because I had them in my suicide pool. Is anybody still in the suicide pool yet?
Yeah,
Or-
me too. And I had the Steelers.
I had to fucking sweat that game out until there was 3 minutes left. I was so pissed. I was like kicking myself because I was like, why the – I mean, I had a whole newfound hatred for the Dallas Cowboys that I didn't even think existed because trust me, I hate them. But I was
Ben
so
got hurt right
livid.
before half. I shut it off, and I didn't turn it back on until the beginning of the fourth quarter.
I just kept scoreboard checking. There's 26 people left. I don't know how much yours is for, but first place in this one would win about 2,600. But there was like 26 people left. If the Steelers had lost, there would have been 5 people left. And I would not have been one of them.
There was 5 really happy people for 3 quarters of that game.
That was terrible.
That was not fun. Anything else we want to talk about in last week, or do you guys want to get into the primetime picks?
Roll it over, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. On to the next one.
Let's have some fun. Week 10 of the NFL in the primetime picks, and we'll talk, week 10. We will talk about, you guys can look at the standings right now on our screen. You guys could see that I am getting closer and closer to not being so mediocre in my primetime picks. But we are starting Thursday Night Football. We have the Indianapolis Colts at the Tennessee Titans. Titans laying 2 points, and the over-under is 48.5. I'll start with Sir. What do you got in this game? What are you thinking? Any potential superstar plays? What do you got?
I'm gonna go with Tennessee -2. Man, Tennessee's been playing great ball. Like Derrick Henry running, Tannehill's been throwing the ball. AJ Brown, Corey Davis had a little bit of a bad game last week, but he's been playing well. Indy, I mean, did y'all see the pick? Phillip Rivers threw a pick and then it flailed to the ground to try to make a tackle. Like,
Yes,
you know, like what are you doing, bro? Like,
He looks like you right now, sir.
Nah.
You are doing the Phillip Rivers.
Hey, but I didn't throw no interception, all right? So, but yeah, give me the Titans -2. Like, they've been putting up points in bunches, and I like the over at 48.5.
Before the rest of us make our picks, I don't know why I continue to forget this, but we need to
Me and Nick,
somebody watching this right now is like, hey, they didn't do the shots. Well, here we are. We're doing the
Here
shots.
we are.
Ravick already did his. Salute, fellas.
Oh, Rumple Mints, you taste so good.
I did Crown Royal, and I don't know why.
Why? It's not even one of the shots that we do.
Oh boy.
We got. I work
Taste that with your tequila.
For anybody who doesn't know, I work in a liquor store in northern New Jersey. And Crown Royal came out with these commemorative football,
Glasses.
leather cases for Crown Royal. You know, work very close to, River Edge and some of these other areas that are very close to, Giants and Jets country. What bottle do we get? If I can grab it, I would show you, but it is the Philadelphia Eagles commemorative. So I had to buy that bottle. I don't know why we got it. Nobody's going to fucking buy it in our store. I'm the only one that bought it, but nonetheless, I got to drink the Crown Royal to get it, So, Tim, Indy at Tennessee. Tennessee laying 2 points. What do you got?
Yeah, I know Indy's got a pretty good defense. I think if the Titans watch the same film that from last week and just follow what the Ravens did to stifle that Indy offense, I think the Titans are going to make this an easy pick at -2. Phillip Rivers is Phillip Rivers, and Indy has really only beaten bad teams. I know they have a winning record, but all their wins are not against the best looking squads. I'll take the Titans. I'll take over 48.5.
Moravik?
Well, both of these teams kind of find a way to win. I don't think either one of them is that good. Titans have been playing a little bit better, but Sir made my pick for me. I appreciate that, bud. I'll take the Colts +2. And I'm going to go I do like the over. Both of you bet the over. I like going the opposite, so I'm taking the under than that too.
I'm with the big man. I'm going Indy, and I'm taking the under as well. I don't really have a great beat on the game. I just think that I just think Indy's going to win the game. I don't really have much more on it than that. I just think that they have the tools and the matchup is good for them to cover the 2 points and win outright. So I'm going to go Indy. In the under, it's funny. All the over-unders for the 3 games are all in the 40s, which is kind of unlike what we've seen. But I do like the under in this game. For Sunday Night Football, we have what would be a pretty good match if New England didn't suck, but we have Sunday Night Football, Baltimore at New England. Baltimore laying 7 and the over-under at 43.5. I'll start with this. We'll go in reverse order. I understand that Baltimore is the better team. I understand that Baltimore will make the playoffs. I understand that, everybody's all over Lamar Jackson, even though he's not having a great year. Their running back situation is kind of weird. Hollywood Brown isn't getting the targets that he wants to get. And maybe I'm just naive. Maybe I'm a fool, and I'm fine if that's the case, but I'm getting Bill Belichick at home getting 7 points, a touchdown points. I just don't understand why. I get that some of their wide receivers are hurt. Cam Newton's the best playmaker on their team. We saw that against the Jets even. Scoring 2 rushing touchdowns. A low over-under. Usually when there's a low over-under, it leaves room for the underdog to, kind of stay within striking distance. Give me New England +7. And I will take the over on this game. I think they can score some points. I think Baltimore could score some points. Sunday Night Football, weather seems to be good, so that's where I'm going to go. Moravik, we'll kick it to you going in reverse order. What do you got in this game?
Ooh. Baltimore's just you don't never know what you're going to get, and you're right. Like, Hollywood Brown's done nothing. What did Des Bryant do this week? No, that was a joke. But with that being said, New England, everybody says Bill Belichick is, and he is the best coach of all time. Like, were they tanking? Because if they would have tanked, they would have lost yesterday. What are they doing? Like, when they lose, they're tanking, so Bill Belichick is the smartest. When they win, they're like, he's going for it. All right, let's just – I honestly don't know. I'm definitely going with the over. I got to take Baltimore. I just think they're a better team than the way they're playing. So I think they just have to pick it up. But, Baltimore, Baltimore can score 50 by themselves, so the over is obviously the pick on that. But that's the way I'll go.
I'm way more confident in the over than my pick of New England.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll say that for sure. Tim, what do you got?
All right. You hear me out. Y'all just picked the Colts to beat the Titans, who are a good team. The Ravens just throttled the Colts. And now you pick the Patriots to cover 7, and they could barely beat the Jets, who are a terrible team. The pick is the Ravens -7. I don't know. The Ravens defense is for real. And if they
took the Ravens,
not you, fuckface, the other peckerhead over there, yeah. But you both took the Colts and the Ravens. It shouldn't even be a thought. I think it's an easy pick for the Ravens -7. I enjoy the over of 43.5. But a team that could barely beat the Jets, I guess at home, but they're at home this week. I don't know. It just it doesn't make sense. I'll take the Ravens -7.
It just real quick. Did the Ravens throttle the Colts?
Second half,
they scored 2 offensive touchdowns. It's not like it was 24-10. They scored a defensive touchdown, kicked it wasn't a throttling.
But hear me out. The second half was a throttle. They ran away in the second half.
I will say we mentioned last week. I got 2 points to this. The first point is last week I mentioned that they are 0 in first half. Teams the week after playing the Steelers are 0 on first halves, and I believe the Colts, even at +1, covered the first half because they were winning going into halftime, correct?
That is correct.
Now, just a hypothetical on the point you made before, besides calling me Peckerhead. So let's just say hypothetical game. All right, this week we have Cleveland and we have the Dallas Cowboys at their current states right now. And we'll say Cleveland is laying 5 points. Who are you taking in the game?
Oh, probably Cleveland.
Okay. Well, Pittsburgh destroyed. I'm glad you said that because Pittsburgh throttled, your words, Cleveland and almost lost to the Dallas Cowboys. So to that same logic that you just laid out, that's exactly the reason why I'm picking New England +7.
I hope you're right. You need to catch up.
Well, I'm 2-1 and 2-1 the last 2 weeks, so I'm getting there. Little by little, I'm getting there. Sir, what do you got in this game?
I don't know. This certain things just don't add up. Like New England, they're not really throwing the ball well, but they're running the ball effectively. Baltimore's a top-tier defense in terms of stopping the run. New England's terrible at guarding the run on defense, and Baltimore's probably a top team in running the ball. Give me Baltimore -7. Like I just don't see how. Like I don't know. This line is a little. It should be a little bit more, but Baltimore -7 that seems like the pick. The over/under. I don't know. I think with running the ball, give me the under, 43.5.
So you three all took Baltimore?
Mm-hmm.
You got a chance to be another game behind, Nick.
Let the record show that the last time the three of you, Moravik included, picked against the pick that I had, it was Thursday Night Football, Jacksonville and Miami won, and I picked them. So,
by the way, that was the only one I got wrong. I hit that parlay that week, and I got the other two games right. So,
just
that's 5-1, not bad.
Moravik, that's why we have you on again, because you're getting fucking picks right, man. Crush fucking fireballs.
I thought it was because we like drinking. And
I thought it was just you're like, hey, he's the best drinker we've ever seen. So,
hey, I'm all for drinking. Okay, and closing out the primetime picks, we got Monday Night Football. We got Minnesota laying 3 in Chicago against BDN and the Chicago Bears. Over under at 44.5. Sir, we'll start with you. What do you got?
I was torn on this game because, like, the last time I checked, it is a primetime game, and we know Kirk Cousins historically has been absolute trash on primetime. With that being said, I'm taking Minnesota -3. Minnesota has won the last 2 straight games. The Bears have had 3 straight L's. Like, Dalvin Cook has been absolute balling the last, 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope Kirk Cousins will prove me wrong. Like, one time for the kid. Perform on prime time. One time. That's all you got to do. Come on.
It's going to be really hard for Kirk Cousins to hand the ball off effectively. I don't know what else he doesn't have to do very much the way Dalvin Cook is running the football.
Yeah.
That
When Dalvin was balling, he came out the game, Madison came in, and he was running. Like,
that's garbage time. Anyone could be good in garbage time.
Hey,
You know what
seven
sucks miserably?
touchdowns the last 2 weeks.
Say it?
7 touchdowns the last 2 weeks.
4 and
Cook.
4 and 2, maybe 6.
They did 3 last week or 2.
I think it was only 2.
Two.
Who cares?
Either way, he's been balling.
He pooped on me in 3 fantasy leagues. So
Yeah, I faced him the last 2 weeks in fantasy, so it's been a kick in the D. The D being Dalvin. It's been miserable. Let's just go with this. I think we're all making the same point. Does anybody pick Chicago in this game?
Well,
Come on, old boy. You know you want to do it.
hey, for what it's worth,
I really do, but
we all picked the Patriots last week, and you saw what my Jets did to y'all.
That was a good game, honestly.
I want to take Chicago, but
I was torn. It's like I want to take Chicago because it's prime time, but like you said, it's easy to just hike, hand the ball to number 33, and let him run.
Chicago's offense might be the only offense worse than the Jets, quite honestly. And well, not with Joe Flacco.
Woo, he looked good, didn't he? He's
Broadway Joe is fucking solid.
Just remember, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback if Eli is.
This is a long-winded question, but is there a player that has been on different teams but throughout his career has never had a good quarterback more than Allen Robinson. Like, who has Allen Robinson ever had? If Allen Robinson was drafted by Green Bay,
Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles. All
it
right.
was horrible.
He had Blake Bortles.
The king
Don't
of
say
garbage
that.
time.
Listen, the king of garbage time. I mean, listen, he put in a good playoff run too. One.
Poor Zach.
He is like an elite wide receiver and will never get like the stats that he could have got if he was, on a team with even a moderately good quarterback.
That's true. They're saying he's going to be on the Giants next season. So
That would be fucking – I mean, I'll tell you this. If the Giants got him, that would be huge. I would take Daniel Jones over any of the guys. And Nick Foles, I mean, I love Nick Foles, but
yeah, baby.
He's not a great quarterback, during the regular season for the most part.
I'm back Money Mitch.
Yeah, and Money Mitch, all he could do is run. I mean, he did win me a couple of fantasy leagues.
He's hurt, though. He's hurt.
Yeah.
It is almost getting Nick Foles' time, though. So, week 10. Oh, you know what? I'm taking Chicago.
Oh, there you go. We talked him into it, guys.
Week 10, double-digit weeks. Nick Foles, late-season quarterback. He's coming back. Mark me down.
We talked him into it. We talked him into it.
Right there. You said that, and it just – I was like, oh, well, he's a late-season quarterback. Guess what? It's late season. Week 10, I'm taking the Bears. Nick Foles.
All right.
Well, thanks for having a loss this week. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, are we opposite on all of them? Oh, no, you took Baltimore, too.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, 2 out of 3 were opposite, so we'll see who's better for real now.
Well, I got a shot on it on Monday.
That deal.
You got to show up to the pint.
Yeah, deal.
All right, we'll move on to DFS. I'll start since based on our DFS lineup, so that I did enter. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I did finish first. We're not going to count for whatever reason. Like I was like, oh, I entered my lineup. Boom, 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 and like I'm looking and I'm seeing like I'm winning. Like what the fuck is Latch doing in our DFS? Like, what is the deal?
More lineups in than you have.
Here's the deal, Latch, because I know you're watching. It doesn't count when you listen to all of our picks and then you make your lineup. So here's the deal. You want to be in our fucking DFS DraftKings lineup matchup, that's fine. You know our show is on Tuesdays, so tweet your picks on Tuesday and then put them in. Don't pick Dalvin Cook because I picked them. Don't pick fucking Dallas or DJ Dallas because I picked them. You bum.
I also had Dalvin Cook as well, sir. Thank you very much.
Well, everybody had Dalvin Cook. No, Latch is.
No, not everyone had Dalvin Cook.
Tim didn't, but no, I'm only kidding with Latch.
I'm not. Tell him to fucking picks in.
But he must have been happy last week watching his team lose because Tom Brady threw 3 picks. So
he's not a happy fellow.
DFS, nonetheless, I'll start. Quarterback, give me Josh Allen. I think he's in an absolute smash spot against Arizona, 7,500. He's starting to come back to that MVP form that we saw earlier in the year. And honestly, I think one of the biggest reasons why, and give me him at wide receiver 1, is the fact that John Brown is back and healthy. When you have John Brown and Diggs, I think it just drives their team and the plays that he could make so much more. John Brown, a cheap option at 5,300. I'm a huge John Brown fan, even from Arizona. I just think he's super talented. I know he suffers from like migraines, hurt a lot, but he's back to being healthy. And when he plays and he's on the field, you see what you saw last week with Josh Allen fucking throwing for over 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, just absolute abusing. And of course, sir will say, Seattle's defense sucks, and they do, but still, absolute smash spot against Arizona. Running backs, I'm going to go Miles Sanders against the Giants at 6,400. I got to get at least one homer pick in. Miles Sanders should be healthy. You've seen in 3 games against, the Giants what Boston Scott has been able to do against the Giants. Now you're getting a better running back. Throw in the fact that I just think that the Eagles are going to win, i.e. they're going to be running a lot more towards the end of the game. I give me Miles Sanders. I'm glad we're doing this. I'm glad we're doing this in Zoom and not in person. Give me Miles Sanders at 6,400 against the Giants. Running back, I can't believe how many times I saw fucking Alex Smith dump off to this guy. But give me J.D. McKissick against Detroit at 4,900. Just for PPR alone, I mean, he's going to be catching a ton of passes. He's in the offense. I have a lot of Gibson in a lot of fantasy leagues, but to me, McKissick is catching passes. He's making plays. They're not a great team. I think that game's going to be close against Detroit, but give me McKissick as a really cheap option at 4,900. My other two wide receivers, Devontae Adams. I mean, who's hotter than Devontae Adams right now? Against Jacksonville for 9,000. He's my highest money total guy. I mean, everybody was wrong about Aaron Rodgers not being anything anymore. I mean, not drafting a playmaker, drafting running backs, wanting to be a more run-first team.
Drafting his fucking successor.
Yeah, I don't know if a pissed off Aaron Rodgers is what it is, or the fact that he's just
Mostly.
It probably has
Absolutely.
a lot to do with it. Yeah, it definitely has a lot to do with it. But nevertheless, give me Devontae Adams. They're facing Jacksonville. You saw what Deshaun Watson did to Jacksonville, threw the ball all over the field. Will Fuller catching passes for touchdowns. So I'll take Devontae Adams to do the same thing against Jacksonville at 9,000. I'll take Slayton at wide receiver, 4,800. I don't know what Golden Tate. I don't know if he's going to play. I don't know if he's not going to play. He probably is going to play. I don't know because he's not hurt. It seems like he's just not playing because his wife can't get off Instagram. But, Slayton is good for a couple burns against the Eagles. I know it's tough. I'm going to fuck this up a lot because I've been drinking. But you got Darius Slay and you got Slayton. And Darius Slay did pretty well against them last time. But I do think that Daniel Jones has missed.
Oh, Sterling Shepard last time.
Yeah. Well, Sterling Shepard gets a lot of it too, it seems like, against the Eagles. I was kind of cut back and forth. I didn't know who to pick between the two, but Slayton's the home run hitter. I could see him balling out. I'm looking for a touchdown. A big home run hitting touchdown will get me 14 or 15 points. And at 4,800, that's exactly what I'm looking for. At my flex position, give me Judy against Las Vegas at 5,600. Even if Las Vegas wins this game, Drew Lock has shown to be like the king of garbage time. Even against Atlanta, almost squeaking out a game where they potentially could have won, which I think would have made Atlanta just the absolute
Hilarious
fucking trash can team of the century. But Judy seems to have a pretty good rapport, the rookie with Drew Lock. So give me him at 5,600. Tight end, I'm going to the well again. He scored a touchdown last week. Eric Ebron seems to get a touchdown or 5 to 6 targets every single week. 4,400. Let's just say Big Ben has COVID because he's on the list right now. And Big Ben's not playing in the game. Well, whatever fucking quarterback they use is going to be dumping to the tight end. So I feel like this is a win-win in any scenario. Maravik, you look shocked by the Big Ben comment.
Yeah, when did that happen?
There's like 5 guys on the Steelers that are all on the COVID list. Now, they have 5 days to quarantine, and if he tests negative, then he will be okay. So he's not ruled out. There's a good chance that he's going to play. But give me Ebron at 4,400.
Just to interrupt, he sat on the plane ride next to one of his teammates who tested positive. So he doesn't have it. He's just in a protocol because he was in
Close contact.
Sir can attest to this.
We were robbed on Thursday, by the way. I'm saying robbed. A player gets falsely tested positive for COVID. They take the left tackle, a bunch of receivers out.
Sir, take it up with the NFL.
It was a false positive, but normally they move the game, but they say, let's give Aaron Rodgers an easy win.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers smoked them. I wouldn't say he got robbed.
Robbed. Hey, because our backup left tackle was getting burnt all game. Like you were out without 3 receivers.
Sir, tell us how you really feel. How do you really feel?
Hashtag angry sirs.
Listen, we woke Sir up. It's good. He's awake now.
Hey, man.
Just start
morning.
Any other game they moved to Wednesday, Tuesday, or late Monday, but they were like, you know what? Let's leave the game. Let's keep it on Thursday. Let's give him an easy dub. It's all right.
Wow. How many games you can move around, sir? We can't move that more games around. You You got to play them where they are now.
Suck it up, Buttercup. Welcome to the Jets.
Did you see they're going to add
Go
2
ahead.
playoff games if any more games? They're going to add 2 more playoff teams if any more games get canceled,
Good.
or if games begin to get canceled.
That's awesome.
My Giants Super Bowl futures pick is in the running.
They still have to win the division, Nick. They're not going to be a wild card team.
I already paid my bookie on all Giants futures that I already had. I paid my guy already. I'm like, I'm not going to win any of them, so I'll take them all.
All they have
Why
to
isn't
do
your
is
guy
make the playoffs.
DraftKings yet? Why are you
What?
not on the fucking main sites?
I'm old school, all right?
The way
All
that
you youngins with your interweb and stuff like that, all right?
with their fucking odds boosts.
I'm old school.
We're having odds boosts. Guarantees.
I do Barstool.
Moravik still has an AOL
I'm in
account.
PA. You got to remember that. I'm in PA.
You're right.
I can't
Barstool
do
went live in
Jersey.
PA. Shout out
do
to
Jersey
Mr.
stuff,
Warblight.
Yeah, I don't, I mean, I could do. Actually, real quick, I do have a problem with DraftKings. I could never switch my account from Jersey to PA.
Yeah.
And I tried to start a new one, and I can't because I can't use the same social, and they won't switch it for me. So that's why I don't use DraftKings.
No, you got Barstool. They're good. Yeah, Davey Portley, he'll take care of you.
And on defense, I'm taking the Bengals.
Sorry, buddy.
And on defense, I'm taking the Bengals at 2,100. I'm sure I have some logic behind it, but for right now, I can't think of what it is. I forget who even they're playing, but there was a reason. Somebody else do their team. I'll figure out why I picked them. But I'm picking cheap defenses.
You're learning, sir. You're learning to pick.
Oh wait,
defense.
aren't they? They're playing this. Are they playing the Steelers?
Yeah, they're playing the Steelers.
Okay. Well, Big Ben just hurt both his knees. He might have the COVID. So give me the fucking Bengals at 2,100 on.
Yeah, he just played the Cowboys. It was a tough matchup. We know.
And teams that play the Cowboys. No, I don't have any stats on that. Sir,
I'll-
let's go.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just gonna run. All right, real quick. My teams have been the worst, so y'all should skip 5 minutes in the podcast because it doesn't matter who I pick; they do fucking terrible. But anyway, my quarterback, Mr. Herbert, 6,600 versus Miami. Fuck Tua Tebow. I'm pairing him with cousin Keenan Allen, 7,100. In reality, Herbert's been throwing the ball all over the field. There's nothing that's going to change that from happening now. Ride the hot hand. Running back 1, Aaron Jones, 7,100 versus Jacksonville. He's back and he's healthy. Green Bay is going back to ground and pound. They're going to use Aaron Jones the way that he's been used at the beginning of the year. Running back 2, Nick, I am in agreement. J.D. McKissick, 4,900 versus Detroit.
I thought you were going to say Miles Sanders.
No. I went the cheaper option. You were absolutely right about the dump downs. He was one very, very small inch away from having a big touchdown last week. And for 4,900, you could do way worse. Nick, I'm also in agreement. My wide receiver 2 is Jerry Jeudy, 5,600 versus Las Vegas. He's healthy. He's getting healthier. And Drew Lock is back. So at that price point, he's very, very, very advantageous to have on your squad. Wide receiver 3, I guess he's not wide receiver 3. $6,700. Will Fuller, he's had, I think, 4 or 5 straight games with a touchdown. And that's really, against Cleveland, what's going to happen. So plug him in and play him. Tight end, Nick, I'm surprised you didn't go with this. Evan Engram, 4,500 against your Eagles. He was one fingertip catch away from having a giant game, no pun intended, against the Eagles last time. I don't know that he's going to drop that pass again. He probably will.
He drops lots of passes.
Oh yeah, but
Lots.
yeah, I hear you.
Lots.
But that's what I'm going with. In the flex 5,200, I got Melvin Gordon III versus Las Vegas. He was the person who fit the rest of my squad. I'm not going to lie. for whoever was $5,200. I threw the most, who I thought had the biggest upside. And defense, I went Seattle versus the Rams. Maravik said there's 2 games that Jared Goff's going to be terrible in. Let's just make it 3. He fucked me royally against Miami in my pick. So let's hope that he helps me out here throwing picks to the defense. No matter how bad Seattle is, because they are bad.
I like the Evan Ingram pick.
That's my squad. I couldn't believe you didn't take him.
I didn't want 2 Giants. I have Slayton already. But the Eagles, there's no team worse than fucking the Eagles against the tight end. Like, their defense is set up for you to say, hey, fucking keep throwing it to the tight end because we're not going to cover them. So that's a solid pick. Maravik.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to go right after Tim because after Tim's last words, I'd like to say my starting quarterback is Jared Goff. That's $6,500. I think Seattle's terrible. Their defense sucks. One thing, the Rams do throw stinkers. The Rams, and sir, you know this, generally don't throw stinkers in the NFC West. Usually play good games there. It's everywhere else, correct?
Yeah.
By the way, anybody who listens to this podcast and don't listen to a word I say about these. I don't think I've ever won $1 on these. I'm the worst daily fantasy player ever. Ronald Jones, I'm going with a running back, 5,300. Why? Why not? James Robinson.
Why not?
Why not?
You sound like Sir right now.
He kind of squeezed into my team there. I am going with James Robinson against Green Bay because he's basically the whole offense. I mean, the guy's doing a little bit of everything. He is getting points, so I feel like that's a good pick. Stephon Diggs against Arizona. I really wanted to go Josh Allen, but I couldn't afford it. I did this a couple times. It just didn't work. So, I mean, whatever. Cooper Kupp. We'll pair him with Jared Goff. Listen, Kupp, Woods, whatever. It's all the same. Curtis Samuel, 4,900. Listen, he ran and caught one the last 2 weeks. That at least if he keeps one of those, you're getting some good points there. At tight end, Evan Ingram. He will drop the ball 5 or 6 times. He'll possibly, though, catch, he'll still catch 5 from 50 and a touchdown. So, and Daniel Jones loves him. Flex, Devontae Parker. Now, Tua Tagovailoa. There you go.
Tebow.
Tagovailoa.
God bless you.
I think they're starting to connect. The first game he threw towards them several times, but was just off. Last week, he's getting Tagovailoa. He's starting to – I feel like they're going to have a good connection. And listen, Devontae Parker's a solid receiver. So, and at defense, no big surprise to go cheap on defense. So we're $2,700. You get the New York Giants. You guaranteed 3 or 4 sacks and at least 2 interceptions, probably a touchdown on that. So, although they'll give up 40 points too, but they will get all that in there.
All right. To play off what Tim said for Sir's picks, let's just play a little game while Sir's making his picks. Every time Sir says, you know what I'm saying, we need to do a drink. With that in mind, Sir, let's hear
Y'all about to
it.
get hammered. Y'all about to be hammered, you know what I'm saying?
I got to pull up both drinks, and I got 3.
I heard 1 so far.
Damn it, ready, sir.
Uh-huh. All right. So, at quarterback, you know what I'm saying? As Six said, I got Jared Goff at 6,500 against Seattle. Seattle's defense is trash. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. That's close.
I know. At running back. Now, it's Tuesday, so this is subject to change. Christian McCaffrey is looking like he's not going to play. So with that, I'm going to give you Mike Davis at 4,000. Now, if McCaffrey plays, Davis sees the bench. But if he doesn't play, give me Mike Davis for 4K.
Who's in his spot?
At running back,
who's in his spot
What?
if he doesn't play?
I have to move things around because Mike Davis was a cheap option. So
Understood.
at
You had another cheap
at
option.
RB2, give me Kareem Hunt at 6,700 versus Houston. I know Nick Chubb is supposed to return, but Hunt's a dual threat. He gets a lot of targets out of the backfield, and he runs. He's been running. So give me Kareem Hunt 6,700. Wide receiver, give me cousin Keenan Allen 7,100 against the Dolphins, 20+ DK points the last 3 games, and Justin Herbert has been looking cousin Keenan's way, early and often. Receiver 2 to pair with Goff, I'm gonna go Cooper Kupp 6,900. 20 targets last game, and again Seattle's defense. Pretty trash, you know what I'm saying? Wide receiver 3, give me Danny Amendola, 3,900. No Galladay, so he had 10 targets last game when Galladay out against Washington, 3,900. I think he could do enough to pay up that price. At tight end, I'm gonna take a drink to give a shout out to my man Albert O on IR. Here's to you, my man. Salud. You know what I'm saying?
He slipped one in there. Nobody heard that.
I do, in fact, know what he's saying.
You know what I'm saying? Give me Gerald Everett, 3,100. I want all parts of the Rams against that Seattle defense. At flex, I'm going to pay up for this one. I'm going to give Devontae Adams at 9K, 30+ DK points the last 3 games, including 6 touchdowns. He's been balling. You know what I'm saying?
So I fucking regret. I mean, if there was ever a regret.
Well, what you did wrong is you don't tell him that, and then, I mean, let him go, and you should text us and some drink. Don't tell
That's
us
a factual statement. You know what I'm saying?
You in fact know what he's saying now.
I know what you're saying.
And
a couple more drinks.
Shout out to Moravec.
A couple more drinks. I'm not going to know what
the Giants defense. The Giants defense at 2,700. They get 2+ sacks every game. They've been getting pressure. Wentz likes to throw picks. 2,700. It's a good price.
So all right, I know we're running. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I know you all have basically the same team. I know that I'm not particularly good at building this fantasy team. How do you guys go about building your team? Do you start at the quarterback spot and go down? Do you find the best, what your highest values are that you're definitely going with, and plug them in? Usually,
I'll put in a cheap defense just because, I've said this numerous times. I want my defense to try to put up at least 10 points. So I'll look at the cheaper options. A lot of times they're off the matchups are terrible, but I'll find one that's not so bad, and then I'll start with a quarterback and then kind of plug in running backs, and then.
Yeah, I go defense and tight end first. Because they're always the cheapest, and then work around that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm doing it wrong. I literally I go right the fuck down. I'm like,
it's the hardest.
I'm like, give me the quarterback against the worst defense, and then give me the 2 running backs who either their starters got injured or they have an advantageous spot. And maybe I should start bottom of the top or
also, with running backs, I like to try to get at least 20 to 25 guaranteed touches, whether it's out of the backfield or in the air. Because the more touches you get, there's more time to do something well with it.
I literally haven't been doing well, and I think I'm at least a decent fantasy full season player. Okay, settle down.
It's all about the strategy in how you do it, and there's a strategy to it, especially in like the leagues or the tournaments that we're essentially doing this for, where look, you're going to be in some where guys you can have up to 150 teams, and the guys are going to have 150 teams. I mean, but naturally at the end of the day, what you're looking for is the cheapest amount of money that you can get the most amount of points. And the other thing you're looking for is guys that you could pick up that nobody else is going to have, or at least like the lowest percentage of people are going to have. Look,
that's the number one.
Exactly. 100%. If Patrick Mahomes is facing, whoever the worst defense is, yeah, he might be the nuts, but 80% of fucking teams are going to have him. So you need to find something that's going to separate your team from everybody else's. And I think when you look at these leagues where no matter.
Hence the Albert O pick.
Yeah, no, that's genius. But like, also, hence the fact that you and I have been considered. Well, he left, but hence
See you later, sir.
No, I'm
Like,
still,
Alberto, I'm out. I'm out.
I was just about to give you a
no, I'm still
compliment.
here. I'm still
I was
here.
just about to give you a compliment, and all of a sudden it says Chris Shaw. But hence why you and I have been going like inexpensive defenses that could hit, because nobody's going to have the Bengals defense, to my point, and nobody's going to have some of the guys that I picked, but they're in super smash spots. The other thing that I look at, the final thing that I look at, is games with high over unders, like Josh Allen and John Brown. I don't think a lot of people are going to have John Brown. Maybe some people are going to have Josh Allen, but that game has gone from 55 on Monday to 56 already on the over. It's the highest over by far. So when a game continues to go up higher and higher and higher, what that
You
means
want part
is
of that
there's
action.
going to be there's going to be a ton of points. You're just trying to find the guys that are going to score the most.
Plus,
So,
I like to pick on defenses that are trash. Like, to pick on Dallas. I mean, last week they showed, but pick on Dallas' defense. Pick on Seattle's defense. Pick on these
Arizona.
defenses that can stop a nosebleed.
Yeah.
well, and to your point, how many people would have logically picked Miami's defense against the Rams? But if you did, you probably put yourself in money unless you absolutely botch the rest of your picks.
I will
Because-
always go one of the cheaper defenses because
Yeah.
why? You'd rather have the money somewhere else. So
Yeah,
you
spend
take a
up on
shot.
receivers and running
Defense.
backs that might drop 40 points, as opposed to a defense where if they have a great week and they might put up 16 points. Where give me pay down, take that 10.
Well,
hopefully,
that's
You
the
take the top defense and the last defense. It's probably not
the margin for points
that
is
gap isn't exactly.
that's
It's like, why not save that money and put that money in a running back or receiver flex, whatever.
who could put up 35, 40 points.
Exactly.
the same as Zach works for your fantasy drafts. That's why you don't draft the fucking defense or kicker before round X, Y, and Z.
I need to get you in a real league where we don't do defense or kicker. Defensive players only.
Oh, IDP? I would love to be an IDP league.
Ultimately, when it comes to whether you're doing DFS or whether you're doing sports betting in general is hard. You're trying to predict outcomes of things that are in the future, and you don't know what's going to happen. And at the end of the day, common people, not professionals, I'm not even going to get into that because none of us are professional gamblers, are going to lose more than they win. And most people are going to do that. So with any kind of logical bet that you're trying to make, you want to make a bet that goes against the public. Now, that doesn't mean that when the Jets and Kansas City played a few weeks back, like somebody's like, well, I got an idea. Like, nobody's going to pick fucking the Jets money line, so let me put money on that. Like, no, there's stupid bets and there's smart bets. And that would have been a stupid bet. But buying up 7 more points and taking the Jets or whatever the case may be might not have been, the worst pick. And in that particular case, you would have hit by half.
Even the Jets with the points. I mean, listen, if there's an NFL game that is 20 points or more, I will always take the underdog.
I'm right there. I'm right there with you.
I think the Chiefs 2 weeks ago, but I will always take the underdog.
Or at least bet the first half. I mean, there's certain trends.
Yeah.
Tease it, baby. Tease it. The dumbest bet, right?
That's definitely a long-winded
Suckers bet, Tim. Suckers bet.
Suckers.
as the man Craig Carton would say, and I'm glad he's back.
Did you all watch that documentary yet? I'm the only idiot who didn't.
There's I don't want to get into that.
I'll say the part of that documentary and everything was fact checked. They said according to Atlantic City and everything, but he goes into a blackjack room, high roller room, and he wins like $250,000 in 6 minutes, and then leaves and goes to work with Boomer. I mean, it's just
where's all the bad stuff in that?
If you have a problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
There's.
We will promote that from whatever week we need to.
I don't know. I don't know if anybody saw The Dirt by Motley Crue. The Motley Crue movie on Netflix.
No.
Probably not. You guys are a little younger.
Well, not
the
sir.
movie
We
was a
don't know
whole-
how old he is.
The movie, well, not sir, yeah. The movie was a whole blowjob to themselves, and that was kind of the Craig Carton thing. Like, oh, yeah, like, even when he gets out of jail, like, well, you know, yeah, me and my wife are... No, they're fucking completely separated. Like, she will not talk to him. Like, there's all sorts of, you know, that's whatever. He signed off on doing that documentary, so you gotta... It's kind of tilted his way. Exactly, it was money. But it was tilted his way more than probably the truth.
I still need to.
For a reason, probably like his wife and shit wasn't on it.
Well, yeah, and the only people that were on it were people that like him, or, you know, that like him now at least. I know him and Boomer got into it after he, you know, I guess he blamed Boomer for not, like, quitting with him or whatever the case may be. I mean, I didn't read the email.
How the
Not a
fuck
part
Then
of
he
it.
said his first call right out of jail was Boomer, and Boomer was like, "Oh, I love you." All right, I doubt that happened because he probably thought he was going to get the job back,
Yeah.
which he should. Because I like Gio, but he's not as good as Carton and Boomer were. But you know, whatever.
I would have put Gio with Evan and got Boomer and Carton back together. Or, yeah, Boomer and Carton, but nevertheless.
I put Carton and Francesa together. That's just me.
Yeah,
But,
okay.
Nick, I'm not gonna lie. I had a over/under shot on you saying "I digress." So,
Did I say it?
No, I need you to say it right now.
Oh, I digress. Anyway, I'm sure we're running long on time.
Yeah,
so
but we
let's
have
run.
Moravec, so it's okay.
Let's
Yeah,
run through
I
these.
mean-
Let's run through these parlay picks. Sir, you want to start with your parlay picks?
Yeah, why not? So to start off, I'm gonna take Denver Raiders, the over 52. The Raiders are 7-1 in terms of overs. With their one loss being last week when it was like 30-mile-an-hour winds against Cleveland. The last 3 Denver games have gone over the total as well. So give me over 52. Second part, go Chargers Dolphins over 48. The Chargers' last 5 games have gone over since Tua Tebow. Miami has averaged 30 points. So 48.
I'm
not a
about
bad
lower.
number. And the third, I'm gonna take Baltimore -7. As we talked about before, that parlay pays plus 597.
Okay. Tim, what do you got?
Sir, I enjoy one of your picks. I do enjoy your knowledge on the other picks. Maybe I'll throw them in a parlay myself, but I'll take the Ravens -7 as part 1. I'm gonna take Seattle getting 2 points. I would actually take just the money line. If you're taking 2, I don't see them winning by 2. Or being within 2, take the money line, take the extra fucking odds, and I'll take Philly G-men over 44.5. If you take the points, it's 597, the same exact odds that Sir got.
Moravec, what do you got?
All right, what I have is 1 winner, 2 winners,
All right, I'm not doing that with you.
3 winners.
I only have 3 left, and they're not happening right now.
Well, you got 3 left. I got 3 winners. Number 1. Sorry, sir. New Orleans Saints -9. San Francisco's done. Michael Thomas is back. Saints are gonna rock them. Sir, I love you. Sorry. Buffalo +2. I'll take Buffalo game. Getting points right now. Doesn't matter. We talked about this with Kansas City last time I was on. You give me Kansas City and points, I'll take it forever. Right now, the way Buffalo's playing, I'll take that. And number 3, they've covered 4 straight weeks in a row. The New York Football
Oh,
Giants.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on. Money line against the Eagles.
Okay.
1 win, 2. No, all right. I'll take the 3.5. I was kidding about the money line. Am I gonna
That's
lose?
smart.
Listen, you're giving the Giants 3.5 against a team that 3 weeks ago, lost 2 by 1 point. I'll take it. So, 1 winner, 2 winner, 3 winners.
Moravik is now crushing 3 bottles of Fireball at the exact same time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The man
I guess
is
it's my
an
turn
animal.
to not do that tonight. I got work tomorrow, Moravik. You're fucking me right now.
You gotta work? What do you think? I don't work?
To the point that Sir made earlier, it's Tuesday.
And it's late on Tuesday. Thanks, Nick.
It is late
it's
on
Nick.
Tuesday. It is currently
fucking
11.
Nick.
We're edging towards 11 p.m.
I had a good nap in, though, so we were good.
I don't know a friend named Nap, so we're good.
So some of the picks similar, some of the picks different. I actually like Las Vegas minus 5.5. But I also wrote down that was not one of my top 3. One of my top 3s was the over in that game for the same reasons that Sir said. The only thing I would jump on and say as well is that, as I mentioned in my DFS lineup, Drew Lock, king of the garbage time. Like that line just seems weird to me. The 5.5. I do like Vegas minus 5.5, but I have the over as one of my parlay picks. So give me the over in that game. It seems like there's a perception when it comes to teams coming off a bye, and we just as society forget everything that happened beforehand just because they came off a bye, and then we say, oh, that team's good because they're coming off a bye. And that to me doesn't make any sense in the matchup of Houston getting 3.5 points against Cleveland. And I understand the last time Cleveland played, they played in a monsoon or whatever the fuck was happening. They didn't score a lot of points. They don't have Odell Beckham. Chubb sounds like he's coming back, and if he does, listen, Houston's not good against the run. But I don't know where we get off thinking that Cleveland is a favorite, 3.5 point favorite against Houston. I can lose this game by a field goal and still win the bet. So give me Houston plus 3.5 all day. And lastly, Moravik.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, but there's no chance you're taking the Eagles.
Absolutely.
At 3.5.
I don't have 3 shots of Fireball.
Absolutely.
You have a team that's getting healthier and healthier. And yeah, the last time they played, the Giants covered. Sir was one of the only guys that picked that. Argued the Giants. I remember that. You got Alshon Jeffrey coming back. You got Dallas Goedert healthy another week. Another 2.
You have Alshon Jeffrey come back for 1 play until he gets hurt.
You have Jalen Reagor.
Sir.
Jalen Reagor coming back. Why is it every time I compliment Sir, he goes away? But you have Jalen Reagor coming back. You have Miles Sanders healthy. You have the Eagles coming off a bye, and I know it's contradictory to what I just said about teams coming off the bye, but there are certain teams that are very good coming off a bye. Teams like Andy Reid coached teams coming off a bye, phenomenal. And then you have teams coming off byes that are usually historically pretty terrible. The Eagles kind of come closer into that, historically pretty good teams coming off a bye. 3.5 points. I just don't see why the Giants, who Daniel Jones is going to turn the ball over. Maybe Wentz.
He didn't turn the ball over last week.
Well, he almost did though. He fumbled the ball. He just recovered it.
Almost.
But he also, to be fair, he also played the only team outside of one game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that he's ever beaten multiple times. But I'm getting 3.5 points against the team and the quarterback that can't beat anybody but the Washington football team. And the team that he's playing is not the Washington football team. Again, one of these reasons why I'm glad that this is over Zoom and not in person, but give me the Philadelphia Eagles laying 3.5 against the G-Men.
You don't want to see this.
I will say.
Shake his damn hand, son.
Earlier, the virtual stunner. Earlier yesterday, I did like the game more at 3. 3.5 does scare me a little bit, but I do like the Eagles laying 3.5. So I got the Eagles laying 3.5. I got Houston plus 3.5, and I got the over/under in the Vegas, but I will say that I do like Vegas minus 5.5 as well. Anything else before we run through our best bets of the week?
Real quick, for the record, at 3, I might not have taken the Giants. but I will take them at 3.5.
Yeah, I mean,
So
we
I
shall see.
understand what you're saying. I just go, and obviously we bet with our hearts on that one, but
I say here's
never bet with your heart.
Here's the gauntlet right now. I will throw you a bet right now. Here's the bet. If the Eagles don't cover against the Giants, i.e., you win the bet, I will start off next week's show doing 5 shots of Fireball.
Oh,
That sounds like a word.
5 shooters.
5
You
shooters.
gotta do shooters.
They're
Shooters.
They're bigger than
5
shots.
shooters of
I know
Fireball.
that, unfortunately.
If the Eagles do not
All at once?
cover. I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To
Ah,
start the
see, all at
show.
once.
Make a mess.
Yes, no.
I don't know if I can do that.
Obviously, I'll take that bet. 100%.
You got a big mouth. We've heard you for fucking 10 weeks now.
If the Eagles cover and the Eagles win by more than 3.5, you have to come back again. Hold on.
Next week?
No, next week we have CeeLo from WFAN coming on next week.
Never heard of him.
Well,
Who?
hopefully he's not. Chris Lepresti's coming back from WFAN.
Oh, I love Crystal Press. He was awesome.
Yeah, he's coming on. He's coming on next week. What should the bet be against Moravik if the Eagles win? Help me out.
I'll do 10 shots at once. I mean,
No, it's got to be a funnel. A Fireball. I don't know how
We
many
will have
shots in a
you-
funnel.
If we here, I got it. All right. If the Eagles cover, you will come back for the Super Bowl edition, the Super Bowl episode of Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets, and you and I together will do 3 shots of Fireball, and we will sing the Eagles fight song together.
Oh, fuck.
Time out. He's going to come back week 16.
Well, I'm sure he's gonna come back before, but this will be the Super Bowl episode.
All right.
He needs to
So
come
we'll
back
have you on the Super Bowl, and we will sing the Eagles fight song.
I will sing the Eagles fight song. I will paint my face.
Okay. Will you do it
All right.
Rowdy Roddy Piper style, half green and half nothing?
Yes. That's even better.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
He's
Oh,
gonna have
shut
to
up.
To victory.
He's gonna have to learn the words.
You will be the second
I don't
person
have to learn the
to
words. I
fight
know
song.
the goddamn words. I've been hearing it for years.
I'm trying to think of how I can
Most
get
of my friends are Eagles fans, so I don't have many friends that are Giants fans. They're all fucking Eagles fans.
Shout out to AJ, by the way.
Fuck him.
I'm trying to think of how
Big
I
top little
can.
tot.
How do I fit my mouth around 5 shots of Fireball at the same time?
Fucking Eagles. I don't have 5 left.
I was trying to bait you, but you didn't take the bait.
We
Nope.
can fit 3. We found it out.
Hey, shout out to AJ. Yeah, we don't. Whatever. He's an Eagles fan. We get it.
I love AJ.
Shout out to
AJ,
Skaggs. Shout out to Skaggs, who's listening every week and then posting like, "Hey, Fat Neck has to be back because he's the best." And I mean,
I will
Literally,
say,
Let's say
Skaggs.
I'm the best.
Skaggs was your biggest advocate. We did listen to the people. We are the people's podcast. We will listen to the people. If you want somebody back on, we will have them back on. Whatever the
want us
case
to
may
do
be.
something different, we'll do it. If you lasted this long in the podcast, please tell us tomorrow on whatever social media what we need to do to be better.
Hey, you know what I like to
Say
do?
more
I like to-
shots. You're a fucking asshole. We don't need to do we don't need to do more of those. All right, you fucking dicks.
I like to put my 3-team parlay in to win Tim's money. I will be the parlay that I'm going with.
Who said that?
No, I'm saying it right now.
Okay, take my damn pick. You're welcome.
Guys, before we do our best bets of the week, I want to thank, obviously, Sir for jumping on with us as always. Big time Tim for jumping on with us as always. And obviously, friend of the show and one of our favorite guest hosts that we can have, John Moravik, obviously, is the absolute man. and a lot of fun to do this with, man. I just
Love you guys.
over everything.
What?
By the way, that was 11 shots out.
You're a
What?
fucking animal.
many
Guys,
shots?
thanks for jumping on, and thanks for tuning in this week to Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets. As always, once more, you could find us on Twitter and Instagram at SBFS Show. We'll be on True Exact Radio, his YouTube channel tomorrow, probably around 7 or 8 o'clock, and then we'll be on iTunes on Thursday. Don't forget, I don't think anybody hit the big time challenge for Tim. All you have to do is just tweet us at the show. If you want to at Tim too, that's fine, but you could tweet at the show your 3 picks. Please, 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 don't just say the names of 3 football teams. Fucking, nobody will know what the fuck you're talking about.
Thanks, Uncle Kenny. Yeah.
There you go. Don't tweet the over or the under and not give us the point total that you're going with, so we know what the hell you're talking about. That was Kyle, friend of the show, Kyle.
He lost anyway. It doesn't matter what he chose.
He did. But, give us the over-under, what the points are. Give us the teams. Give us the spread. Tweet us. If your three picks hit, you win a $25 bet. You could turn that $25 bet into a million
fucking
different...
anything. Unless you're Miguel, and then you just fucking lose my money. Thank you, Miguel.
$25 can be turned into lots and lots of things.
And as bad as they are at putting the picks in, at least they put their picks in. So we thank you for doing that.
There you go.
I'm just biding my time. I'm going to win that money. Don't worry.
I
Let's
would
run
love
around.
for you to put a loser in. I heard your fucking parlay that you're putting. Please put it in.
Yeah.
How great will
By the way, won my parlay last time.
Damn, but you
What
didn't
did you-
put it in, did you?
What?
You didn't put it in.
I did.
You
Oh,
would
not
have
with
been.
not with you.
You would have been the first winner.
That was before you started doing this. You didn't start doing this until after I was on. Because you're like, oh, all these other guests can't win. Only Moravik can win.
This is what happens when we do a lot of shots in a show. But let's run around one time. Let's do our best bets, best picks of the week. One pick that is a stone cold lead pipe lock.
What is
Sir,
Over
Sir,
52. Denver Raiders.
Tim,
Over 44.5. Philadelphia Eagles. New York Football Giants.
Oh, sucker.
Moravik.
God damn it. You go first.
Well, I kind of want to go second only because my best bet of the week is also the same as Sir's, and I don't want to have the same pick as Sir's. So,
Oh, I was going to have the same pick as Tim, so.
you know what? I got one. I'll take fucking Sir. God damn it! I got to go first on these. Give me Buffalo +2 against Arizona. Buffalo, top 5 team right now in the league.
You say so.
Getting 2 points against Arizona, who I have been an advocate against. Yeah, I do not like them. I do not think they're good.
Only I hate Miami more than you hate.
It's not that I hate them. I just hate the idea of these ESPN fucking, lovers that tune into SportsCenter every single week and listen to the hosts beat off to Kyler Murray because he's some sort of like second coming of Jesus.
Josh Allen, MVP.
Yeah, he's not. Well, if Josh Allen wins MVP, I win a lot of money. But I think Buffalo, I got him at 40-1. Buffalo, give me at +2 against the Arizona Cardinals. All right, Moravik, now you got to go.
All right, well, here's the problem. Yeah, well, Tim
Take my pick.
Tim took my first pick.
Take my pick.
And then you took my second pick. So, you know what? Fuck it. Giants, money line. Giants win outright.
See you later.
It's +160. We win. We're better. By the way, we win. First place. Number 1. And I win a lot of money on MC's champions. So,
Fucking lax.
go Big Blue.
Fucking guarantees over here.
Shouldn't have gotten drunk. That was a terrible pick, but I'm going to make it.
Guys, thank you so much. Thank you, you three, for jumping on this show. As always, is a lot of fun. We are Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets. We wish you the very best of luck because money won is always better than money earned. And money won is just too
Wee.
That's NWO, sir. They beat up Stone Cold with a lead pipe.